And good morning to your friends, and welcome on into a Monday, January 12th. I know one person, Sam, one person who is really excited to be here at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's Joan Jones. Woohoo!
Yes, I am so excited to be.
Who's been sleeping in for the past several weekdays, and now you are back amongst the half-dead at 5 o'clock in the morning. So, Joan, welcome back. You were missed.
Thank you. It's nice to be half dead with you again this morning.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, Joan and Sam, since I was last on the air, and since Sam was last on the air, we've had another video of the ICE shooting in Minneapolis. Now, anybody who would say that the left is trying to spin, I'm sure, Joan, you've seen the video. Oh. Everybody has seen the video.
Can't take my eyes off it.
First of all, I will say, thank the Lord that this ICE officer decided to pull out his phone and video the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because it looks to me, and the left will completely disagree, this is one of those moments where you can have two groups of people look at the same video, and everybody's got a different interpretation of what happened. But it is clear that Rebecca Good, the wife of Renee Good, and Renee Good herself, they were taunting these officers. They were taunting ICE. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean, obviously, that she deserved to die. Renee Good deserved to die. But what it does tell you is that these folks on the left, they're completely lying and misrepresenting what actually happened. Because remember early on, you had all of these people on the left saying, oh, she made a wrong turn. She was scared. She didn't know where to go. Just an innocent mom dropping off her child at daycare. No, they were at war with ICE. And I'm going to play some of this audio. I know everybody's seen it. I know everybody's heard it. But if you're watching on Super Talk TV, there's two new videos. There's the one that was filmed by the ICE officer. There's another video where it shows that Renee Good was in the street, and she was, crossing traffic lanes. And part of what she was doing was waving vehicles through. And I think part of what she was doing was waiting for the ICE vehicle to show up so that she could block the entirety of the lane of traffic so the ICE vehicle couldn't get through. So there's a couple of new videos that we have all digested over the weekend. But this is, and I don't know about you, Joan. I don't know about you, Sam. I don't know about you, friends. But when I see this video of Renee Good and Rebecca Good, the two of them smarting off to the ICE officers, and you see Renee Good, literally, Joan, it's 60 seconds before this woman dies.
Yes.
And you're watching this video and you think, my God, how preventable this was. All she had to do was get out of the vehicle. All she had to do was put the vehicle in park. All she had to do was be respectful of law enforcement, and she would still be alive. It's horrifying.
Yep.
What happened, and the absolutely recklessness and the carelessness of both Rebecca Good and Renee Good. And Rebecca, I played the audio. You weren't here, Joan, but I played the audio on whenever all this happened, where the wife, Rebecca, was sitting on the sidewalk and she was wailing and crying.
Yes.
And she literally said, this was my fault because I dragged her to the protest. But
she also said, drive, baby, drive.
She did. Drive, baby, drive. All right, here it is with no further ado. This is the audio, and if you're watching on Super Talk TV, you can see the video as well.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. It's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Okay.
Out of the car. Get out of the car.
Get out of the car. He says, get out of the car. And you can hear, obviously, the taunting.
Yep.
You can hear her, basically essentially calling the dude fat. And she ain't exactly svelte, I'm just saying, talking about Rebecca Good. And they're taunting, and they're really, clearly what they're trying to do is get a reaction out of the ICE officer.
Yep.
That's what they're trying to do.
Get out of the car.
Drive, baby, drive. There it is. I think she said it once or twice. Drive, baby, drive. And she does. Horrifying.
It really is.
Horrifying. But I believe, and maybe I'm wrong on this, Joan, and somebody can feel free to correct me, but it does seem like in looking at that video, number one, clearly that police officer was shocked that he was, or the ICE officer was shocked that she gunned it towards him. You can hear the engine rev.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it does seem like, I don't know, Sam, what do you think? Joan, do you think the video proves that the vehicle hit the ICE officer?
100%.
I do. I mean, you can see that he was bumped and off of his stance.
Oh, you can hear the contact with his phone.
She didn't drive straight into him. She got him with the side of her car.
Yeah, with like the driver's side corner.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you could hear the clicking of the car hitting the phone. I guess he puts it back on his belt or something. So someone pointed out from the sidewalk angle that someone's recording on, her tires are slipping. So she really was pressing the gas pedal in that instance. And there's a thing that's often talked about in the Black American community of, well, when I was taught to get my license, I've got to be extra careful around law enforcement. I've always thought that was kind of malarkey because my mom told me the same thing when I was 16 years old. If you get pulled over, you put your hands on the steering wheel. You give them no reason to have to. An officer explained it in a video with a drunk woman on Broadway a few weeks ago that they have to act because if they react, then things end poorly.
Right. And
he had to make a decision because she put him in that situation.
She put herself in that position. She put herself in that situation. So, yeah, for me, when I saw this video, now you have the people on the left, right? And they're saying when Renee Good said, "I'm not mad at you," right there in that part, she was clearly being sarcastic. She is clearly trying to anger the officer more. She's being sarcastic. And so for the left, they're refusing to back down from this. This is the hill that they are going to die on. And if that's what they want to do, then
literally
that's what they're going to do. And we saw protests all across the country over the weekend. I don't know if you saw what was going on in Minnesota over the weekend, but they're trying to break into hotels and such. You know, they're trying to break into, and they may have. I know there's a bunch of windows broken, just, the usual vandalism and chaos that we see in moments like this. But there was also another video, and we're going to get into that. As far as your weather goes, it looks like sunny with a high of 50 today. Prepare for the possibility of snow.
Did you say that?
Yeah, that's what's on my official weather sheet.
What?
That's what Sam said. I'm not responsible.
One of the models is showing that potentially Wednesday night into Thursday morning, there could be significant temperature droppage and the possibility for, like a significant snow, but we might get like 1 or 2 inches, maybe.
You know how this always turns out, right?
Get your milk, get your bread.
It's a dusting or less than.
You know how this
by
always.
the time we get to it.
You know how this always turns out, right? I'm over at the hotel, and I wake up in the morning, and there is no reason for me to stay in town.
Yes.
That's how this always ends up. And that's not a pleasant evening over there. The last couple of times have been a complete and utter nightmare. Anyway, so, and everybody is commenting on the super text line and giving their 2 cents. We will delve into what folks are saying on the super text line as the morning continues to unfold. 615-737-9986. All right, so then there was another video. And this video shows Renee Good. And basically what she's doing, let me pull it up here if you're watching on Super Talk TV. Basically, nope, that's Donald Trump for whatever reason. Oh, that's right. Donald Trump was talking about how disrespectful she was. This is the president talking about just that.
At a very minimum, that woman was very, very disrespectful to law enforcement. And you heard the same noises. You saw the same crunch that I saw. You can't do that with law enforcement, whether it's police or ICE or Border Patrol or anybody else.
When it comes to ICE officials, though,
All right, so that is Donald. Look, most normal people look at what happened and understand what happened. The taunting, the wife there saying, you want to come at us, you want to come at us, and realize he's doing nothing but walking around the car, and they continue to taunt this ICE officer. So coming up, by the way, I am going to speak with at, I think it's 7:36. We've got Hans von Spakovsky, of course, big-time attorney, and we're going to talk to him about the legal options for the ICE officer. There was another video that shows that her blocking the road for a full 4 minutes. I don't know if you folks saw this, but she was blocking the road for a full 4 minutes. And so you've got these people that are out there, and they're talking about how she just made a wrong turn and so forth. No, she was in the road for 4 minutes, waving people by. And essentially, if it wasn't an ICE vehicle, they would wave them by. But this is my opinion, when an ICE vehicle shows up, then she blocks the entirety of the roadway. And Donald Trump, you heard the audio bite by Donald Trump, and he is absolutely right. We have an entire group of people here in America who have been told to put their lives on the line, to get in front of ICE vehicles, to resist. And I don't know, you think we're going to see more of this, Joan? I think we're going to see more people killed.
It's more people are being emboldened by things like the amount of money that has been collected for this woman, for the wife, and I'm using air quotes, of Renee Good.
$1.7 million was the last I saw.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, like that's what you want to do? You want to support that?
Yes, they do. See, here's the deal. You got some people, somebody actually tried to challenge me and is like, oh, well, where were you, regarding January 6th? January 6th was, I don't know, how many total people partook in January 6th? I don't even know. I mean, a few hundred. This insanity is going on all across the country, in blue cities all across the country. It's hardly on the same scale. So you're talking about these people who are standing up for really, really bad people. And I'll get to this here a little bit later on in the show, but they've started now to list the people that they've arrested in Minnesota, and it's just like the people they arrested here, right? You've got people that are, gang members and drug dealers, and they've got priors and, rapists and all these other things. And that's who Renee Good died supporting. And the more we see these videos, because everybody's got these videos, right? Everybody's got these videos, and they're proud of their behavior. If you're watching on Super Talk TV, I want you to listen to this. I hope we're in delay. I think I got all the F-bombs out of this, Sam. Sam hates when I do this.
I know. But
I think I got all the F-bombs out of this. By the way, everybody noticing, Joan? White liberal women.
Oh yeah, isn't it like, what is wrong with these people?
And this woman is screaming at the top of her lungs.
Menopausal women.
Are you going to shoot me in the face? And she's got a little. What is that drum called, Sam? That she's got.
I mean, that just looks like a regular snare drum with the bottom taken out of it.
It's a retard drum.
Oh my God.
Gosh,
Joan,
so dumb.
You did not.
Joan called it a retard drum?
What? So honestly, what is she doing? Like, that's going to be so effective against
I need
ICE
a Joan
agents.
Jones t-shirt. Why don't you get out there and beat your retard drum?
Come on.
You know what we need to do?
What?
We need to come up with a daily segment where it's like we talk about the liberals banging their retard drum. Joan, you started this.
I did.
If I get in trouble, it's because of you and your retard drum.
Damn straight we did.
Here's the stupidity of this. So you see these women. You've got the woman with the snare drum, i.e. Joan's retard drum, and you can't necessarily tell what the other woman is screaming. These are not normal people. These are not normal people. I just, Joan, I can't get into the mindset. I cannot get into the mindset. If I wanted to, I could play the audio or the video that is going around of both Barack Obama and Bill Clinton talking about how it is legal and appropriate to deport people. That audio is all over the place, I'm sure, today. But we've been all playing that for a long time. But I think just showing the misbehavior, the bad behavior of these people with their drum and screaming in their stupid sunglasses and I don't know, she's wearing kind of a hat that, what would you call that? Can you see that?
It's a beret.
A beret, thank you. Sam, whatever your name is. You know what? Can I just say, Sam's use of the term retard drum has just completely thrown me completely off this morning now.
I didn't even come up with it. I echoed it. That's all I did.
Yeah.
Let's put it on Sam.
But,
I like that. Thanks, Dan.
Suddenly, Sam, what were you thinking?
Come on,
what was
Sam.
I thinking coming up with a T-shirt of a Joan Jones quote? Darn me!
You think anybody would sponsor our segment featuring the retard drum?
Let's go find a conservative-owned music store.
Exactly right. That's what we need to do. Retard, Joan. I can't believe you did that.
9832 said it's a tom-tom, a.k.a. your retard drum. I think this has legs. I think this is a good...
Yeah, you think this has legs, do you, Joan?
I do.
Okay. I really was hoping that I'd make it 5 years on the morning show.
I doubt it.
I don't know. It's not looking good right now. That Trump predictor ball would say, I don't think so. If we had that.
Not looking good.
Not looking good. Anyway, all right. So it is 5:23, Nashville's Morning News. I do have, coming up after the news, I've got a couple of other pieces of audio and video going through the lengths that some of these people are going through to try to stop ICE, including getting in front of moving vehicles. And I love the fact that, and we'll talk about this, and I'll show you on Super Talk TV if you're able to watch, where you've got somebody who basically has their butt on the front of a car driven by ICE, and ICE is just rolling right along. And they've got their butt on the car and their feet on the ground, and they're just trying to hold it, hold the car back.
Yeah, like you can use your body to stop a car. Ugh. I go back to the drum.
Because you're going to stop 300 horsepower.
Yeah.
You and some sneakers.
Do you know, this is, and I'm going to go back to Renee Good and the death of Rebecca Good, the senseless death of Rebecca Good. And Joan, you weren't here on Friday. For people on the Super Text line, if you missed the show on Friday, I know this woman was a hardcore activist. I reported all of that on Friday in great detail. She was, did you know, Joan, that you weren't here on Friday? So I was shocked. They had their little 6-year-old in basically a school for social justice
education.
A 6-year-old child.
A 6-year-old.
They're damaging that child.
They are absolutely damaging that child.
The parents from that school were in the ICE warrior group.
That's where they all hooked up, is at this school in this ICE warrior group. So,
and they probably did hook up.
You've got all of these parents, and they've got their kids in their little social justice warrior school. And that's where a lot of this, had its genesis.
Why is there a social justice school even allowed? Like, why is that certified as a school? Who said that's okay?
I don't. Okay, so
Karl Marx.
I'm not entirely. Well, I mean, listen. You have Tim Walz as the governor. I don't know if this was like a private school or.
So, falls under charter. So, like, they might get government money to operate independently.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in any event, so, that is what they were doing with the kids in the school. By the way, there's a lot of stories out there about why it is that Rebecca Good did not have custody of her 2 other children.
Yeah.
Good morning to you, friends. Hope you are doing well, and welcome on in to a Monday, January 12th. And, it is interesting where you have these folks going crazy and sticking up for the immigrants there, the migrants, illegal aliens, whatever you want to call them in Minnesota.
I think I'm going to make that my new alarm.
Do you know what? This would definitely get me up in the morning.
Yeah, and then when it flashes, I'll name it retard drum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you'll be throwing things at your clock first thing in the morning.
Yeah, that's true. So they're just, they've now released some of the people that they have arrested in Minnesota as far as some of the bad guys go. And this is like just a rogues gallery of horrors. Now, I can't even say these names, but one guy is a Laotian illegal alien convicted of a strong-arm sodomy of a boy and a strong-arm sodomy of a girl with a deportation order since 2018. Tom Vang, a Laotian illegal alien convicted of sexual assault and sodomy of a girl under the age of 13. It goes on and on.
Ugh.
It's just, and this is who these people are trying to stick up for. That's the thing that is so crazy. Rape and child fondling. There's another one. 3 counts of homicide with a deportation order, June 2025. Homicide. 2 counts of homicide. Another one, a Mexican illegal alien convicted of homicide. It goes on and on. Shri Hutu, a Burmese illegal alien convicted of negligible homicide. So, yeah, if you're interested in all this, I'm going to go ahead and repost this to my social media. Follow me on @Dan Mandis Show. But it's interesting how the people on the left, this is the kind of folks that they will try to stop traffic for. They will risk their lives trying to protect these people. You know what I mean? It is absolute insanity. By the way, Joan, I don't know if you saw this story. Did you see the story out of Portland, Tennessee from, I think this is over the weekend? So there is a guy who was busted in December, a couple of weeks ago, for pouring human excrement on the front porch of a person.
I saw this, yeah.
Also included the stabbing of the victim's 4 tires on his car. And the person's name I can't even begin to pronounce.
I love how also the media, the local media, just tells you what his name is.
Yeah.
They don't say where he was from.
Nwaneri Victor Etpenton is what his name is.
Yeah.
He was taken into custody January 7th. He is charged with 1 count of vandalism and 1 count of aggravated criminal trespass. He has a court date scheduled for January 26th. So they don't say where this dude is from. They do say that, and it's human excrement. So think about what this guy did.
Yeah.
He goes into the bathroom.
Puts it in a bag.
In a bag.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know about you, Joan. I don't know if I hate anybody enough to go poop in a bag and then walk it down the street and put it on somebody's lawn or somebody's front porch. I don't think I hate anybody that bad.
There's extra steps involved in this. Unnecessary extra steps. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Yep.
Kind of gross. Is that why you didn't do the story, Joan? Because it's just gross?
She didn't do it because it was crappy, Dan.
It's a crappy story, Joan.
Yes.
That's what it is.
It stinks.
I want to know what the fight was between the victim in this case. Like, who does that? Like, I've got some horrible neighbor stories. Like, I love my neighbors now. I've got some reprehensible, horrible neighbor stories that I'm not going to get into. But luckily, that's never happened to me.
Makes you wonder if he had a specific dinner in mind.
I also wonder, like, is this what they did in his previous country? The name looks African in nature. Like, so what country, like, do you come from that is standard for how you tell your neighbor you hate them so much?
I fart in your general direction.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then there's another one. And now I just feel like we're piling on.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Here's another story. U.S. Department of Homeland Security here in Nashville said an illegal immigrant has been deported several times and is now facing a felony weapons and drug charges. Guy's name is, last name is Alvarado Garcia, has been charged with theft of a vehicle, possession of methamphetamine, drug paraphernalia, 3 counts of possession of a firearm, so on and so forth, according to Metro Nashville Police. And Congressman Andy Ogles, who first revealed Alvarado Garcia's criminal history and immigration status, speaking exclusively to Fox 17 News. And, here's what the congressman had to say, just really quickly.
This is the type of individual that Obama and Biden has allowed our country to be invaded by. This is an individual who is guilty of poisoning our streets. He is guilty of literally carrying a substance that could kill 300 people. He was in a stolen vehicle, and again, he was armed with weapons.
There are criminals in the world, and they should definitely have punishments, but I just feel like they shouldn't be identified because, their skin color.
Well, okay, so here's the question. And honestly, Joan, as a radio talk show host, I have these arguments with myself at times. I know you're a fantastic host yourself. So when you spend all of this time talking about, because that's what we're doing, we're talking about illegal aliens and some of the crappy things that they have done. Thank you. But then you're like, okay, so are we going to spend an entire hour crapping on illegal aliens? I'm not trying to do that. But what is the genesis of this entirety of the story, right? What is the genesis of all of this that we've been talking about? It is the fraud in Somalia, in Minnesota, or Somalia soda, by all of these people from Somalia coming into our country and ripping off the American people. So because of all of that, Donald Trump sends in ICE, and they do a surge in Minneapolis, St. Paul, in Minnesota. You have all of these, nut jobs come out. They start screaming at ICE and, doing all that stuff. And then somebody, unfortunately, Renee Good, loses her life because she was smarting off and being dumb to the ICE officers. Then we have not one, but 2 stories here in here in our town. Horrible, reprehensible stories about what illegal aliens have done here. We haven't even gone down the road of the guy that raped that woman to death on the church steps.
Right.
And so here's the thing. As a talk show host, I'm like, God, I'm just over and over again. You talk about these things that are happening, but you know what? They didn't want to have these conversations in Minnesota. They were afraid to speak out because they were going to be called racist. That's why they got away with this for so long in Minnesota, right? So you have to be able to speak out. You have to be able to speak out and say, this is what these illegal aliens are doing, have been doing. And yes, it is worse than if an American citizen did some of these things, because the American citizen, well, it's their right to be here. But an illegal alien, it is not their right to be here if they came in and broke immigration laws. So it does make their crimes worse. I'm sorry, but it does. And we have to be able to talk about it. We have to be able to call out these crimes by illegal aliens, whether it's in Nashville, Minnesota, Los Angeles, Chicago, wherever. We have to be able to talk about this without fear of being called racist, because when you shut down because you don't want to be called racist, well, then look what happens in Minnesota. They get away with these crimes for years, sending. Do you see the story over the last? You were gone, Joan, but there is a story over the last couple of years. The Somalians in Minnesota have funneled, I kid you not, $700 million through the Minnesota airport.
Yeah.
Going to Somalia.
In suitcases.
Suitcases.
Yep.
And everybody thought that was normal.
It's okay.
It's like, anybody else find this kind of weird?
Sounds like something out of an Ocean's movie.
It does. It's crazy. Can you imagine being the, I've always wondered what it would be like to be a, what do you call them? Like a scanner at the airport?
Oh, yeah.
TSA?
TSA. You know, you've got the suitcase going through the TSA thing, and well, that's odd. That looks like millions of dollars. And oddly enough, everybody just apparently thought that was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the crazy thing. There's nothing illegal about it. And so that's what they're now trying to, I guess they're trying to change the laws or whatever. We'll get into that here later on in the show. But one of the things that they're looking at doing is trying to get the banks to issue more. And Scott Bessent, I'll have what he has to say about this in the 6 o'clock hour. But one of the things that they're looking at doing, these suspicious activity reports, the SARS from the banks. We learned about this with Hunter Biden, where you had all of those suspicious activity reports when Hunter Biden was doing all of this creative banking. Well, it's the same thing with all of these Somalians. So, it's weird. They're just transporting all of this cash in suitcases at the airport. Well, now they're looking to have more scrutiny on these suspicious activity reports and maybe issuing those with a lot less of a standard. So that's one of the ways that they're hoping to be able to catch these kinds of things. And so Scott Bessent has a lot of good things as the Treasury Secretary that he wants to do to catch these folks in the act. But, oh, my gosh, $700 million funneled through the Minneapolis airport, obviously all going to Somalia. It is just absolute insanity.
It's not just the Somalians that are doing it, but if all those people are witness to it, they're scanning the suitcases, they're allowing it to pass through, they're not calling any attention to it. What's going on with them?
Well, it's illegal.
It's legal, but there's obviously something wrong.
It's TSA's main concern is guns and bombs.
Guns and bombs.
That's what they're interested in. Stop and over 3 ounces of liquid. God forbid.
Yeah. Take your shampoo.
We've got $1 million in a suitcase, but this person over there has 4 ounces of mouthwash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
cuff him.
One of the funniest scenes in my life is watching my father almost get tackled by a 5'4" TSA agent for having nail clippers in his carry-on.
No.
Dead serious.
Do you know that
I think it might have been
the
cigar cutter that really was what did it.
That happened to me. I had nail clippers one time, and my ex-wife, she was right about this. Why in the beep, beep, beep do you have nail clippers? You couldn't do this at home? Because we got pulled out of line, right? So we get pulled out of line because of my nail clippers. I'm getting, a very uncomfortable pat down.
I'm going to have to start you, sir.
Oh, yeah. They were patting me down left and right, boy. She was not happy with me. But she was absolutely right. Why would you not just clip your fingernails at home? We're going to be gone a week. You couldn't have done it this morning? Mm-hmm. And I was speechless because I had nothing to say.
Man brain. Man brain.
It's man brain.
It acts up, it flares up.
What's that word you used earlier, Joan?
Retard? That one?
That one.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mother-in-law
I was called that.
My mother-in-law has a saying that with men, you have to take stupid off the table before you start your road of decision-making.
Do you know what, though? Do you know how many fingernail clippers they have at the airport every single day?
Oh.
I mean, I bet you they've got like hundreds every day. They confiscate them. Ugh. So now what I do, because my fingernails, for whatever reason, grow freakishly fast. I don't know why.
All right.
So I'm, it's very bizarre. It's maybe because I drink a lot of milk.
Things I thought I would learn in 2026.
So you had a George Carlin thing that you wanted to play here, Sam.
Well, this is it basically perfectly explains why these people do this.
Your identity is your ideology. Congratulations, you've officially screwed yourself because now it's not just an idea, now it's you. And when the idea gets challenged, you don't hear disagreement, you hear an attack. So what do? You build a bubble. A nice, soft, padded little bubble where everyone agrees with you, uses the same words, hates the same people, and claps at the exact right moments. And you will defend that bubble at all costs, even if it makes you sound incredibly stupid. Facts don't matter anymore.
Oh,
Logic's gone.
Yep.
Humor? Dead. Because admitting you're wrong would mean admitting you are wrong, and that's unacceptable. So you double down, louder, angrier, dumber. And that's how you end up defending nonsense like it's sacred scripture, not because it's true, but because without it, you'd have to actually develop a personality.
There you go, George Carlin, way ahead of his time, man. What year was that?
So, from the looks of it, 2003, maybe?
Because, it's funny, this Renee Good, of course, her identity, and certainly the wife there, Rebecca. If you want to put wife in quotation marks, that's fine, whatever. But here's the deal. Their entire identity was on Trump derangement syndrome. They moved to Canada. I talked about this last week, Joan. They moved to Canada when Trump was elected for a second time. Then they moved back, couldn't hack, the Great White North, so they moved to Minnesota. And obviously what happened. Now
they seem stable.
They're not. I mean, clearly, obviously.
Yeah.
And now old Rebecca there, she's got, $1.7 million? And is she really going to have custody of that six-year-old kid? Like, I don't know if she adopted the child or not. By the way, real quickly, there were a lot of things said online about why it is that Renee Good did not have custody of her children. Among the things that I saw was that the Rebecca Good, the partner, was guilty of abuse and something about cigarettes and putting it on the arms of the children and so forth.
Oh, my gosh.
But that is not true.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's not true. That has been apparently debunked. I actually got a little upset over the weekend because Amy brought it up to me. My wife, Amy, brought it up to me. Oh, my gosh, did you hear this? And somebody apparently had sent it to her. It's ricocheting across the internet. And it's some big bearded fellow talking about how, this is why Renee did not have custody of her children because she was with a child abuser, i.e. Rebecca. And so he goes through this whole, I don't even have the audio and I don't care, but he goes through this whole, minute 5, minute 10 thing. And I'm like, well, what's his source? He didn't even give a source.
Ah, see?
There was no source. And I hate that because that's how our side ends up looking foolish because some, I try not to, but some will share that as like, aha, look at this. And it's not even true. That's how we get accused of spreading fake news. Now, maybe at some point that will ultimately turn out to be true. But, the people that look into such things have looked at the divorce decree and said that it was, part of the decision to allow the kids to go with Renee Good's ex-husband. Now, my question would be, what kind of a woman just gives away custody of her kids? I mean, I've not heard of many women that are just saying, okay, husband, okay, soon-to-be ex-husband, you go ahead and you take the kids.
Yeah.
Anyway. So I think that tells you something about her.